Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, I am Khozinatul Asror and I study communication major in Ahmad Dahlan University. So in this occasion, I will be discussing and giving my opinion on the writer's block phenomenon that I feel is a common thing among writers. First of all, what is writer's block? Writer's block is a phenomenon experienced by a writer who suddenly has neither the motivation nor the idea to continue nor create a story. But actually, this is not limited to writers. There are more like creative content, songwriters, and other jobs that require new ideas for each work. But what what I want to go over in detail here is about storybook writers who are just starting to learn, or we can call them amateurs and professionals. These two types of writer, in my view, have a difference. For amateur writers, they usually write because they like it or write is their hobby, so they will do the writing when they have time between their main job. And as for professional writers, writing is no longer their primary occupation. So they do two things at a time to express their hobbies and also do their jobs. So writing is their job. After all, most writers had faithful readers who were always waiting for the masterpiece they had created. And of course, each of these readers has different character. One of them was the reader who was so impatient for the rest of the story that he forgot that even one writer had something to do other than write, that he had forced him to continue the story quickly. It's not much actually, but there must always be a reader who requires writers to update their stories fastly. Authors who disseminate his work on social media platforms such as Wattpad, Twitter, and other platforms. Okay, and I would like to give my opinion on this phenomenon. I think writer's block is perfectly normal for a writer, story writer, or content creative, songwriter, and others. Since an idea cannot be obtained instantly, we must have at least a lot to think about so that we can select a subject that we think of as a new idea. Well, it will also be wrong for a reader to expect a writer to continue the story they created quickly, because a writer may also have other business outside of social media, or they need some time to reflect and organize their mood in order to continue their story. After all, when the writer has been affected by writer's block, it can be quite difficult to deal with, as all of a sudden a storybook that has been writer gets stuck with ideas as well as mood swing affect brain to performance in order to accomplish a storyboard. Around 2020, I once found a tweet from a reader who demanded one of his favorite author to continue the story he had yet to finish. The writer once said that he could not stay active all the time because he was busy working in his life. On his or her Twitter, he or she said, "A writer should be responsible for the story they have written. Shouldn't your goal be to find a reader so that your writing should become known to all the people?" I actually get the point, but if the way he or she asks the writer to continue the story is compelling, I disagree. Because as I said at the beginning, some writers are writing as a hobby, not as a job. They just like it and then they write. That's it, that's all. Therefore, the reader must understand that the writer has other pursuits, as well as if the writer wants to take time off from writing, he or she should inform the readers so that the readers does not wait indefinitely. And as for writers, It may take two things before making a story to not getting into writer's block. First, make a full-length story concept before writing. From beginning to thinking of the character, the strengths and flaws of the character, the background, and also creating a storyboard from start to finish. And second, you should be in a good mood. The mood that we feel can affect the brain become unfocused on thinking of ideas that lead to the story being created. That's it why writer must take short breaks from writing activities and look for other activities that can make them fresh. Perhaps this topic for writer's block ends here. I'm Khozinatul Asror and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum.